It's the Nunnery, the game show where we talk about the feminist critique. The topic of today's show is everybody's favorite Shakespeare play, Hamlet.
Our contestants today, freshly back from the dead, is the Crown Prince of Denmark, Hamlet Jr., the wise advisor of the king, Polonius, and Gertrude and Ophelia.
Let's jump to the first question of the day. What is the feminist critique?
Critiquing women.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect, but not a bad guess. Any other guesses?
Ophelia?
Okay, actually, the feminist criticism is a lens you use to view literature that emphasizes how gender has been represented and how women have been marginalized or ignored. It also emphasizes how women's personal experiences are a valuable source of insight and should not be overlooked. Don't mock me. The lens ties to the rise of feminism in the 19th century, then again in the 60s and 70s, and finally the current feminist movement that started in the 90s. Due to this new acknowledgement of women's experiences, people who use this lens note that many canonical. Thanks, Mom. Texts that are considered mainstream and popular are written by male authors that focus on the male experience. As such, the feminist criticism also seeks to highlight neglected women authors and points out how women are portrayed in literature and from a male-centered point of view. Finally, the feminist criticism seeks to change the world by promoting gender equality.
Why does that matter? Well, Hamlet, feminists often feel that women in your play are overlooked. They think that the play tries to represent how women are sex objects and that they have little to no control over their lives. Not only that, but the women in the play are seen as over-emotional, with the only justification being that it's the nature of women. Thus, the feminist critiques this view of women, and some even try to emphasize Ophelia's role and experiences within the play. May seem a little silly, but that's the topic of the show after all. Anyways, moving on to the next question. How many female characters are in Hamlet?
3. Hamlet!
Excuse me?
Ophelia is the only female character.
Sorry, Hamlet, but you forgot about your mom.
Screw this!
He appears to have gone crazy. He is just a little upset. We need to calm his anger and then we can continue on with the show.
Ophelia, you must go talk to him. I hope your virtues will bring him to his wanted way again. After all, we all know who is in love with you.
But I'm not sure I want to date him, let alone sleep with him.
Yes, honey, do what Genevieve says.
Gertrude.
Only your sweet virtue can bring him back. We are oft to blame in this. While you do this, we will hide and watch to make sure that all goes according to plan.
It's not my fault that Hamlet's so upset. Why does it all fall to fix him?
Child, it is a woman's obligation to care for the men in her life in whatever way possible. As this show has focused on Hamlet, the most important thing is that he is okay and ready to go on, whatever your feelings on it may be.
Pause. It's supposed to.
It's not my fault that Hamlet's so upset. Why does it fall on me to fix him? I do not agree with this. I definitely do not agree with this. But I see that you won't give me any other choice. But I want you all to know I do not care about Hamlet, and I'm only doing this because I want this stupid show over with.
We don't care. It's not like we're going to let you make your own life decisions.
Ophelia, women were put on this earth to fulfill the wants of man. That's what you need to do now. Okay. 3.
Stupid game. How was I supposed to know about my mom? I didn't think she counted this.
Hey, Hamlet. It's okay. It's just a game. If you come back, the show will end, and then maybe we could go out for something to eat afterwards.
God hath given you one face, and you make yourselves another. What? Just go away. I never loved you. You're just as bad as my mother.
You what?
Why would thou be a breather of sinners? God is the only man who could ever want you.
Okay. That's it.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why would thou be a breeder of sinners? God is the only man who could ever love you.
Why the heck are they showing this to us? I thought this was a game show, not reality TV.
They're probably showing it because it's pretty ironic considering the topic of the show.
How is any of this ironic?
Because the nunnery is about the feminist criticism lens of literature and how women have been oppressed in literature, and that's almost exactly what's going on here. And even though it's real life, those are technically literature characters. So it's ironic that a show focuses on the need to recognize women's experiences and is showing a woman being oppressed.
Oh, so it's kind of like how Gertrude and Ophelia were just being ignored. That shows how women were viewed as lesser than compared to men.
Exactly. This is actually why Ophelia killed herself in Act 4, Scene 7 of the play. Her life was not her own, and she would never have the liberty she deserved, and decided that dying was better than going on with the life that she had.
Wait, I thought she was just crazy.
Well, that also involves the feminine critique. Some argue that Ophelia's madness was due to her experience of invalidation within her family, especially with the mixed emotional messages she was receiving. Like when Polonius told her to stay away from Hamlet, but then later encouraged her to sleep with him. She was constantly told what to do while her brother Laertes was able to do whatever he wished.
Okay, so it's like Ophelia's madness is a protest and rebellion. She's like a heroine, a powerful figure who rebels against the family and social order she was raised in and that oppressed her.
Exactly.
Okay, how does this all relate to what just happened in the show?
Well, strangely enough, a scene very similar to this happens in the play. In the play, Hamlet's madness was seen to come from Ophelia's rebuttal of his love, and she was pressured to have sex with him by Claudius, Gertrude, and Polonius to cure his madness, even though it would only ruin her reputation. This relates to the feminist critique because it clearly shows that Ophelia, one of the only two women in the play, was oppressed, and that she was portrayed in the play by a male point of view, as she was an object used only to help Hamlet.
Jeez, I never saw it like that. So she was just there to please Hamlet?
Kind of, but not everyone sees the play like this, and that is the point of the feminist criticism, to shed light on women's experiences in literature. There's another scene in the play too, just before this one, where Polonius reads a letter from Hamlet to Ophelia, to Claudius and Gertrude. To people who don't know about the feminist criticism, this looks like a normal scene, but viewing it with this lens gives it a whole other meaning. This is a personal letter to Ophelia where Hamlet declares his love for her, and her father is reading it to Hamlet's mom and uncle, making unnecessary comments on it.
I can't believe Ophelia's love life was just on display like that for everyone to see and judge.
Not just Ophelia, Gertrude's love life was up for judgment as well. In the first act, Hamlet himself judges his mother for having married his uncle so soon after his father's death. He talks about how frail women are when it comes to love and how his mother is no different. Even though Hamlet felt betrayed by his mother, he was still critiquing her love life and judging her for moving on so quickly. This, once more, when viewed from the lens of the feminist criticism, shows that the women in the play are critiqued for something that a man would not be.
Oh, okay. Oh, hey, look, the game show is back on.
Okay, we're back. Since that little scene took so long, we will now be moving on to our final question. The question is, why is the feminist criticism important today?
After all that has happened today, I think I understand now why this is important. Even in this modern world, women are still being oppressed and ignored in modern literature and in the media. Move over our moral women offers today. Lots of literature still focuses on the male experience while ignoring women's experiences. And the women that are portrayed in literature are still written in a stereotypical manner that does not represent how valuable women's personal experiences are. It is because of this that those who understand the feminist criticism can view even modern literature with this lens and can try to change this. They can also try to focus more on neglected women authors of the past and bring them to light in a more modern world that can appreciate them as they deserve to be appreciated.
Oh, I see now. I never really thought of it like that, and I guess I never realized that even today women are still oppressed.
Well, I don't think this is that important anyway.
Okay, folks, that's all for today. Tune in next week for the next episode of The Nunnery. We'll be bringing on
Juliet and Romeo from Shakespeare's other play, Romeo and Juliet.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why would
Yes, honey, go do it, Gert.
I'm screaming.